Hey guys, how's it going? I am WWE Hall of Famer Lita, welcoming you to General Admission Wrestling.
I will delete you!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Friday Night Storm. Welcome back, former Intercontinental Champion Matt Hardy. A much warmer reception for Hardy now than he got when he won that title all those years ago when he was representing Alpha and his organization. We are coming off the back of an absolutely insane World Cup Wednesday. And even though we have a world title match to get to tonight, Drew McIntyre coming off a shocking loss to Kenny Omega, we have more coverage of the World Cup coming up later, an exclusive interview with none other than Jay White. Well, if we're going to welcome one former champion back to the arena, how about we welcome Tristan Archer, who you may know as the man who held the WXW Unified Championship week 1 of last season. It was a surprise title match that Drew McIntyre took on and won the WXW title from him. That may go down as one of the most significant events in the history of General Admission Wrestling, because what it set up was Drew McIntyre going on, using that, catapulting him into the run of form that got him the MLW, WCPW, and GAW world titles. McIntyre now the quad champion. He'll put them on the line coming up in the main event. But Tristan Archer was an albeit unwilling part of GAW history. What more history might he and McIntyre be a part of? Archer with a kitchen sink just drops Matt Hardy. And Archer, the Frenchman, he's had an extremely successful career, specifically over in Europe, and unfortunately for him, France did not qualify for the Wrestling World Cup, so Archer left out of a tournament that would most certainly be a tremendous showcase for him and everything he's done. He is an exceptional wrestler. Actually just won the Passion Pro Championship just a few days ago. So Tristan Archer coming all the way here from Sweden, I believe, is where he won that. Coming all the way down. So Archer, one of the most well-traveled men in the entire world. Truly an exceptional wrestler. And he's giving the business to Matt Hardy right now. Archer with a half-and-half suplex on the outside. My goodness. Hardy, it took everything he had to try to defend from that onslaught early on from Archer. Hardy did it, and now trying to repay him here. Hardy, power bomb onto the apron, spins him around. You can see the body that Archer has, the strength that comes along with that, but Matt Hardy has the experience to make up for it. Referees count at 7, but of course, here in GAW for all non-title matches, it's a 15-second count out. I know we've been watching World Cup matches as of late. We've gotten used to that 10. Archer belly to belly. Archer's suplex-based offense, very, very difficult to deal with, especially when you're a smaller competitor like Matt Hardy. But look at this, Hardy into a flying guillotine, grounded Archer, and Matt Hardy looking for the submission victory. An extra point for Matt Hardy. Look at the strength of Tristan Archer, just puts him back down. And again, that's just the power that Archer has built. Irish whip off, Archer spins him around into the tilt-a-whirl neck breaker. Hardy feeling that, and Archer going for the cover. Just trying to recover after that guillotine. Didn't get the job done. Hardy kicks out and back to his feet. Slowly moved to the gut. Dodged by Archer. Beautiful takedown into the knee bar. Archer has to perch himself up on that left arm, and it allows Hardy to turn over towards his left side. Archer couldn't get the knee bar in all the way, but what a beautiful takedown from the Frenchman. Boot to the gut again. Countered by Archer, and now he's sent into the corner by Hardy. Up on the top rope, the Frenchman able to play defense, great job. Kicking the left hand of Hardy away, and another half and half suplex. Leg pick, counter. Matt Hardy, now Archer into the corner, and Hardy pursues with a drop kick. Boom, right in the chest. And Matt Hardy bringing all of his experience to bear on Archer, who, by the way, is 37 years old. This is an experienced man as well. Hardy, twist of fate from the top rope. It's an avalanche from Matt Hardy, hooks the leg. Matt Hardy in his return gets the win. Tremendous job from Matt Hardy. And again, you're talking about experience. Archer is fantastic. He's been around a long time, but when you're talking about Matt Hardy, it's experience, former champion. He's been around forever. And a tremendous job in his return. Could another Intercontinental Championship be in his sights? Only time will tell. We send you backstage. And now we're Byron Saxton, fresh in out of his trip in Orlando, is with Damian Martinez. Damian, I appreciate the time as always. You hit the ground running 2 years ago when you came to GAW. You amassed 10 wins in 4 months, but you couldn't win a title. What are you doing differently now that you're back? It's pretty simple. I'm just better now. I don't know how I can put it any better. I was good a few years ago, but good doesn't cut it in GAW. You have to be better than that to win championships, and that's what I'm here to do. That's what I was born to do. Do you have a title in mind? I mean, you challenged for both the World and Intercontinental title a couple of years ago. Are you thinking about getting back there? Look who they dragged out of mediocrity for a phantom title match. Damian, when are you going to realize you're just the guy they bring in to fill up the schedule? At least I have one. How long were you out? That's cute. If you went through what I went through, you'd either be dead or selling insurance under a different name. You're not cut out to be a champion here. Champions go through what I went through. Not everything I did, but at least something tough. They're not handed things like you've been since you figured out a way to not look like an overgrown child. Then how about you put the big talk to the test? Against you? That's no test. The returns just keep on coming. A former U.S. Championship challenger, Chaz, came up short against Lacey Evans. Now she's back here in GAW, a veteran and a well-loved one at that. Damian Martinez being confronted by Samoa Joe backstage, and that's not exactly the kind of guy that you want sneaking up behind you. Joe back from Orlando after representing American Samoa. He's the only man so far in the Wrestling World Cup that's picked up a 4-point submission victory. And in doing that, he was able to keep American Samoa out of the cellar in Group B, at least for now. Championship challengers. How about former U.S. champions? Ember Moon making her season 4 debut. Everything was going right this time last season. Moon had defeated Shayna Baszler to win the United States Championship. She went on to become the joint longest tenured champion with Casey Catanzaro. That all came crashing to the ground when Sonya Deville beat her on an episode of Storm in December of last year. Moon still holds the record for longest U.S. title reign at 271 days. Lacey Evans is coming up on that mark fast. Nothing she can do about that now, though. All she can do is make a successful return against a veteran of the sport, and the fans here are hot. Seeing Jazz come back to this kind of ring shape when it seemed, given her indications, that she was going to be done fighting a few years ago. This is impressive to see. Jazz with a double backbreaker on Moon. And a good start for the veteran. You know that she may be limited in terms of her movement in a way that Ember Moon most certainly is not. One of the most talented athletes in the world of professional wrestling, but she certainly, like Matt Hardy, makes up for that limitation in just experience and, in her case, incredible strength. So you can see the way that Ember Moon is approaching this already. Moon going up to the top. Moon with the splash, and Jazz, there's the experience. Rolling out of the way, you can see the fatigue already taking a toll on her, and this is what you have to deal with when you're fighting Ember Moon. Now, Moon sends her through the ropes. Moon with the DDT with the rope assist. Yeah, this is the kind of thing you have to deal with. And I think that Moon probably also has U.S. Championship aspirations. Once again, I think she'd love to become the first ever 2-time U.S. champion. Jazz with the face breaker. Moon got her up on the shoulders. Jazz played defense. Now Jazz into the cover. No. Some of the most dangerous women in the history of the sport have already held the U.S. championship. Moon would like to do it for the first time twice. Fisherman's brain buster by Jazz. She can halt Moon right in her tracks here, and she does. What a win. In dominant fashion for the veteran. And talking about what Ember Moon brings to the table, let's not put aside what Jazz brings to the table. Incredible strength from the vet and former U.S. title challenger. Former GAW World Champion as well. Jazz with a big-time win. The fans love it here as well. I told you they were hot. They love to see this. Jazz is mean, and she's back to fighting shape. Tremendous performance. You two know I'm not an arrogant man, but in this sport, when you've been around as long as I have, you expect some appreciation at times. Lord knows I showed plenty of appreciation to the men who helped me along my way. All I wanted from Swerve was an acknowledgement of how much I love the Cruiserweight Championship, and then I put myself out there to bring it back. He's been around too long to be a young brat. You guys understand that. Tito, you've been around here for half the time he has. I don't know what to do. But I just appreciate that you two are with me.
I'm a shadow of the man I was before. I'm a dead man walking before I die. I'll take every soul I can into the night and kill till I die.
An appropriate reception here for Dash Foley, the man who cost the House of Black the Tag Team Championships back at Nitro. The boos have followed him wherever he's gone. Unfortunately, the losses have not. Dash Foley, maybe the most unexpected man out of the Rookie of the Year tournament to be making this much of an impact. Obviously, you've seen what Takahashi has done, winning the Raw Championship, losing the Raw Championship to the apparently unkillable Lars Nightfall. And then, of course, if you were watching the Wrestling World Cup on Monday, you saw Takahashi defeating Kazuchika Okada to earn China its only points of the first round of matches. Takahashi has been the standout rookie from that tournament, as we expected from the winner. But Dash Foley has made the second largest impact. He basically chose the new tag team champions, the Good Brothers. Dash Foley helped them do it. Still no explanation for why, but what we do know is that Foley now is in the position where he has to defend himself and his actions against a representative of the House of Black. And is this some kind, is he mocking the house with this? This is an arrogant man in Dash Foley. Again, we know almost nothing about Foley, just that his height and strength make him a matchup nightmare. We saw that over and over again in the Rookie of the Year tournament. But the depth of the depravity that Foley might possess, that we don't know. The former Intercontinental Champion, Matt Riddle, who you kind of heard the boos from the fans when he first came out. He's never really been able to buy back the goodwill that he lost when he turned on Keith Lee and broke up the Limitless Legion. That being said, sort of by proxy, the fans like him because he's been associated with the House of Black for so long. He was Aleister Black's first recruit into the house and maybe Black's greatest success story. He turned Riddle from a perpetual loser into a feared Intercontinental Champion. A man who was taken down only by Samoa Joe. Riddle now getting to represent the house against, at this point, enemy number one, Dash Foley, the man who cost them the tag team championships. The house rolls together, we know that. That's what Riddle has an opportunity to prove. The tributes to Aleister Black, the leader of the house, continue with Matt Riddle. Wearing the all-black attire made famous by Black himself. We have not seen Aleister Black in the ring in a very long time. The last time we saw him, he was going against, I believe it was Ricochet in a steel cell match, I think it was, if I can remember correctly. Dash Foley grabbing the ropes after a massive springboard missile drop kick to the back of the head by Matt Riddle. And now Riddle, using that MMA background, into the ground and pound, bypasses the guard, and that's a few unprotected shots to Foley's head before Foley can get the guard back up. A great job by Riddle, and you can see the House of Black, like I said, they roll together, and Matt Riddle representing them well right now. Great takedown by Foley off the dragon screw. Striking combination turned aside. Riddle bypasses the guard again into the takedown. And Riddle's MMA is overpowering Dash Foley right now. Foley can't do anything about it. That right hand turned aside by Foley. Nice takedown. Double foot stomp on the outside. With the mixed martial arts that Matt Riddle already possessed, and that now is getting even better, courtesy of the House of Black. That is very much coming into play at the moment. Foley into the suplex. Snap style, and this will be the only way that Dash Foley can get back into this match. He's got to do something on the outside here, cause more damage. It seems like Matt Riddle is going to be unbeatable in the ring. Foley, though, Russian leg sweep into the barricade. Nice job. Foley's doing exactly what he needs to do. Good game planning here from Foley as he was blitzed early on. Foley celebrating in the ring now. He'll roll back outside. Matt Riddle was there waiting for him, but Foley, boot to the gut, frees himself, and Riddle will send it back into the ring where he's most comfortable, where he's dominated. Foley getting on top of him with a striking combination of his own roundhouse kick, and it's ducked by Riddle. Nice takedown. And now Riddle with a roundhouse kick of his own. Riddle will take the top mount. Side Riddle into the twister. We saw him do this multiple times against Samoa Joe, now trying it against Foley. Again, a taller competitor, but less thickness in the upper body. Riddle still hasn't been able to lock in that grip. Foley just a little too tall, but I think the damage has been done. Really softened him up, and Riddle going right back onto the attack. Irish whip off. Riddle with the knee. Went up high. Did Matt Riddle into the cover? Riddle, no! And it seemed as though Matt Riddle just got the job done for the House of Black. He still might have. Riddle with the cutter. Unbelievable job. Another Aleister Black influence. Riddle, no! Yet again. Nothing doing. Riddle, another roundhouse. Grounds him again. Matt Riddle off the top mount. Wait, that's Carl Anderson. Carl Anderson just jumped the barricade. The referee has completely turned his back, and Luke Gallows has peeled Matt Riddle off of Dash Foley. Gallows. Doc Gallows with the power bomb. Doc Gallows just leveled Matt Riddle. Carl Anderson had absolutely distracted the referee, and Dash Foley will make the cover. Dash Foley has stolen a win, courtesy of the Good Brothers. No way. Carl Anderson struck when the time was right, and Doc Gallows came in from behind Riddle before he had any idea. The Good Brothers are out of here, by the way, because that's Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Lashley, storming towards the ring to go after the Good Brothers, and the Good Brothers have fled. They are out of here, but Dash Foley, it doesn't change the fact that Foley got a win over a former Intercontinental Champion. Now let's hear this from Jay White. If I hear one more uneducated moron questioning me for Wednesday, I'm going to break some necks. Don't ever question the GOAT, the Switchblade. Robbie Eagles was getting too arrogant, and he would have been destroyed by anyone. Of course I could see that. It's why I'm the captain and none of you ridiculous people are. So once again, do not question my judgment. Australia is the top of Group A because of me. We are going to win the World Cup because of me and me only. I put this team together, and if I have to remove a cancer in our locker room, then I'll do that too. Never question the switch, baby. Now this is interesting because I believe that Roddy Strong is a part of the black and gold, although that certainly hasn't been made official by any stretch of the imagination. Strong has challenged for the GAW World Championship before. Adam Cole was the champion, and Strong challenged for it in November of last year. It was Cole's last successful defense before losing to Johnny Gargano. So I believe that Roddy Strong is a part of things. Truthfully, I don't know. I don't know if anyone knows at this point. Maybe Adam Cole doesn't know.
What's that metronome I hear? Perhaps the end is drawing near. You never hear the shot that takes you down. Out of time, so say goodbye. What is yours?
Here's what I do know. Drew McIntyre shrouded in darkness, but the crown is back. McIntyre, the so-called king of wrestling, coming off of 2 tough losses in the World Cup, and I think he's tired of it. I think Drew McIntyre is ready to get back to winning ways, and he's ready to do it here against Roddy Strong, the quad champion. McIntyre, the crown is back, and so is William Regal in his corner. McIntyre went on an unreal win streak last season, culminating with him becoming the quad champ. Now they're on the line against Roddy Strong. Here we go, and I am so pleased to bring in Nigel McGuinness, a legend of professional wrestling, a legend of British wrestling, joining me here, breaking down this world title match. Nigel, I appreciate the time sounding like Byron Saxton over here. What are you seeing in this matchup, first off? Griff, I appreciate you having me on. One of the things that I admire so much about Drew McIntyre, and I will say this, I have to be honest, is the fact that he is so disciplined with everything he does. Every movement that he makes is carefully planned out, and I think that has been the difference between the Drew McIntyre that we saw the last 2 years and the Drew McIntyre that we're seeing right now that William Regal helped to create. He's so intentional about everything he does, and that makes him dangerous because he's just not going to beat himself. I think you're absolutely right about that. I never really thought about that so much. McIntyre with the elbow drop, and Strong survives. Roddy Strong, though, I mean, he's got a lot to bring to the table. And Nigel, I don't know how much you know about the black and gold, but certainly in your previous career, you dealt a lot with Roddy Strong. You saw him all the time, and you're very familiar with his style. What is he going to be able to do here against McIntyre to really give McIntyre an issue? Well, one of the things that really stood out to me in all my time covering Roddy Strong and the Undisputed Era and all those guys that I was around was the fact that he just never gives up. It's perpetual motion with Roddy Strong. But at the same time, I talk about McIntyre not beating himself. Well, Roddy Strong's not going to beat himself either, so he's always moving, but he's not going to make a mistake, and if he does, it's going to happen so quickly. You're not going to be able to capitalize. And the thing that Roddy does so well, and one of the things that I really admire him for, is just his commitment to physical fitness allows him to fight at this pace and this style, and you can see it right there, an unbelievable knee strike. That's just one of the many that I think we're going to see from him today. Once again, I absolutely agree, and the thing that makes Roddy so special in my mind is, like you said, that pace is what makes him a great fit for GAW, where we have so many high-paced wrestlers. Roddy Strong just fits alongside that. He is, and he's elite at doing that. They're all over GAW, but he is probably the best of them all when it comes to just turning up the heat in the match, if you will. Well, McIntyre getting the brunt of that, and Strong gonna let him get back into the ring here. McIntyre will enter and walk straight into the waiting arms of Roddy Strong, who again blasts him with that knee strike. That's exactly what we expect to see every time out from Roddy Strong. McIntyre, nice defense, Strong. They call him Messiah of the backbreaker for a reason, but McIntyre lays him out with that right lariat. Nigel, I gotta ask you, when you're talking about McIntyre, it's 2 tough losses in the World Cup. Beautiful power bomb from Strong. It's 2 tough losses in the World Cup back to back. What is that gonna do to his psyche? Well, for most people, it's really a toss-up. It could do one of 2 things. It could either really break you, bring you down, make you less confident, and open you up to what we would call a trap match like this one. But for Drew McIntyre, I think it's very clear what it's going to do. It is going to fire him up. He is going to be more brutal, more sadistic than what we normally see, and that's saying quite a lot when you're talking about anyone who's cornered by William Regal. I think we're seeing it against Strong. It's only going to get worse, because McIntyre, looking at where Team UK unfortunately is in the World Cup standings right now, Drew McIntyre knows that he needs to be better, and he's going to prove, he's going to want to show to the entire world that he is the man who should be captaining Team UK. 2 disappointing matches for him. I don't believe that's going to continue. No disrespect to Roderick Strong, but there's nothing you can do against a man who's motivated like this. That's exactly what I mean. Absolutely brutal belly to belly from Drew McIntyre on the outside, just completely brushing off the fact that Roderick Strong flew from the top rope. Now McIntyre off that belly to belly, straight into the cover. McIntyre hooks the leg, no good. Nigel, you have not had a match in a decade. Are you doing any scouting here potentially for a match with McIntyre? Is McIntyre into the Kimura lock with Strong? I've never seen this, by the way, from McIntyre. Neither have I, but again, that's what William Regal teaches. He teaches versatility, and this is exactly what we expect from anyone who's been working with William Regal. Nice job by Roderick Strong. The same defense twice in a row. To answer your question, I am scouting in a sense that I believe that McIntyre is not the man who should be representing the European style. No disrespect to him, I think he's an incredible wrestler, but you know, I don't know if he's right for that. So I'm here. I'm looking for the for what I might be able to do to beat him possibly. But look, I don't want to be presumptuous. William Regal revealed it to the entire world. I'm not cleared yet, and so you know, it's painful to say, but I may never be able to return to the ring. Right now, my hopes are high, and I hope that I can do something. McIntyre McIntyre has Strong right into the no true Scotsman, but he didn't get it hooked in all the way. Roderick Strong, that knee strike turned aside. Right arm from McIntyre, that one's turned aside. Strong again with the double underhooks into the Tiger Driver. Roderick Strong just narrowly avoiding the no true Scotsman into the cover. McIntyre kicks out. Wow, that would have been disaster for Strong, and he'll go back to the backbreaker that he's had so much success with across his career. Nigel, I can say, for me personally, I think for many people, we'd love to see you get back into the ring any way you can, but I think it was a low blow for William Regal to reveal that you're not cleared yet. I know the GAW doctors are so careful when it comes to that, but are your hopes high? Yes, they absolutely are. I believe that I can get back in the ring. I believe that I'll be cleared again. It's not something that I could have said even 2 years ago, but I believe that my time is going to be close, and Drew McIntyre should be worried when it is. Look at the backbreaker from Roddy. Absolute class from Roddy Strong. And Strong looking to follow it up again. Strong and a heartache on McIntyre, and this could potentially win 4 championships for Roddy Strong. 2, no! It could have won. Roderick Strong so close. Off that end of heartache, McIntyre rolled him back up. McIntyre looking to steal one. No! McIntyre almost had it, both men to their feet. Roderick Strong, now he's going to take a run for it. McIntyre going to take a run for it. McIntyre, Claymore! McIntyre just Claymored him out of his shoes. Roderick Strong left for dead, and McIntyre retains all 4. What can you say when it comes to Drew McIntyre? If he gets on the run, if he gets moving, you're not going to stop him. He's a freight train. That he is. McIntyre on the back of his trunks, it says talk less, Claymore. And you're talking about a move that less than 2 years ago people thought was done. McIntyre couldn't pick up a win. Well, now the Claymore, once again, one of the most dangerous offensive moves in the world of wrestling, and it's helped McIntyre to 2 title defenses already. Nigel McGuinness, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you'll be cleared soon. A McGuinness-McIntyre dream match might be on the cards. And folks, thank you all for joining us. Once again, that dream match could still be out there. I'll tell you what dream is coming true. The World Cup returns next Monday. And if you were with us on Wednesday, it's even more drama to come. Thank you all so much again. We will see you on Monday for Evolution. We appreciate you.